So here we are now in the 7th part of my Horror Nights history for Halloween Horror Nights 15 Tales of Terror. So, are you still alive after sitting through 6 parts of this? Are you ready for more? Yeah, so I was talking about the whole blood ritual and how it was carried out, and I got to where the blade was being forged in the dragon forge. Well, after the blade is forged, of course, it's brought back around to the Terra Throne for the ritual. And the victims are selected from those who have gone through Madalkin Pass and have gone through the trials and tribulations of not terribly great houses, such as Blood Ruins and Cold Blind Terror and Where Evil Hides, and are then brought out, having survived that, to the Terra Throne to be sacrificed ritualistically. Yeah, so the victims were selected from the group, the likely victims taken up and chained up over a pit, and then the blade was used to hack them open, and bits and pieces were removed from their innards, and then they were dropped into the pit of sacrifice, where of course the remains were taken off by the demons of the demon cantina, and the Terra guards off to Gorewood Forest, and the whole damn thing keeps repeating over and over again. All hail the Queen. So this is what's going on in the Terra Throne show. Very delightful. Now, there of course was another show presented, none other than that annual parody of popular culture presented, whereby characters from then current films and television programs and popular recording artists get to interact with the time-traveling youths from those lovely motion pictures back in the late 80s and early 90s. That is, Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure, which was presented once again for the final time at the Toon Lagoon Auditorium, where they have the Toon Lagoon show with Betty Boop and whoever. I've never seen that one. But this year, Bill and Ted's show was just wonderful, and let me begin to describe the wonder of Bill and Ted's Halloween Adventure in 2005. So we start. You go in and you find yourself looking at this amazing bright colored set with a big huge contraption and enormous lollipops and other suckers and bits and candy, and you think, oh, that's interesting. Then it begins with some desperate housewives with a little bit of don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me. The desperate housewives come out of stage, I guess it's stage left because it's to your right, and they come in, and it's the famous Desperate Housewives. The television show on ABC had been popular that year, and so out they come, including the really tight and repressed Bree, and the others more sexy, the girl who used to be Lois Lane, and the one that used to be married to some athlete, and they all come out here, and they doing their usual repressed housewife who are really incredibly horny and want to get it on with their lawn boys and everything else. Bunch of sexual jokes, of course. Bree then reveals that it makes her hot like she was in high school when she used to get it on with the entire football team. Rips off her Jackie Onassis looking pink ensemble to reveal a much more revealing skimpy outfit. All the desperate housewives turn into teenage girls in skimpy outfits who run up on stage where a bunch of high school boys from the 50s, I guess, or 60s, whenever they're supposed to be, and they all start, I guess, but you know, they all start dancing to Motley Crue's song "Smoking in the Boys' Room" in a sort of classroom ensemble, a lot of smoke, and of course it's the typical opening dance number for Bill and Ted. We have a bunch of hot young dancers, male and female, doing some really good dancing. As the clothes become ripped off, the boys are topless, the girls are in very skimpy outfits, and turning on everyone in the audience to this dance number. as usual, which is always a great way of starting Bill and Ted, segueing right into We Will Rock You, of course. So after that, we have the sort of Dukes of Hazzard theme, because immediately the narrator from Dukes of Hazzard, whom you never see, but you hear the voice constantly going over and over, telling what some of the stuff going on in his typical folksy homespun manner with a lot of dirty jokes thrown in. So apparently Willy Wonka has opened a candy factory in Hazard County, and that's why you see the strange device and all the candy. And suddenly the phone booth materializes, and is it Bill and Ted? No, it's Peter Griffin with Stewie, except Stewie is a doll in the shape of Stewie, I guess a puppet that he can manipulate, and Peter's a big fat guy, and they're in character. They've got golden tickets because they're going to Wonka's factory, and they're all excited, and there's typical naughty jokes. Yeah. Then comes Bill and Ted revealed. They ride into Hazard County in the General Lee, except it really looks like an oversized yellow pickup truck instead of the General Lee. I don't know why they call it the General Lee, but they do. It's supposed to be, a red coupe with the Confederate flag, but it's not. It's a yellow pickup truck, being driven not by Bo and Duke, or whoever, whatever the hell their names were from the Dukes of Hazzard, but actually by Daisy Dukes, the one everyone in the audience wants to see anyway, and good old Uncle Jesse. I think in the movie version he was played by, what's the guy, the country western with the braids who, I forget his name, but you know who I mean, Willie, what's his, not Wonka, Nelson. I think that's who played him in the movie. I never saw the movie version, but that's kind of what the character is like, because there's a lot of drug jokes and hippie jokes about Uncle Jesse. They come in with Bill and Ted, and they have golden tickets too. Then the next guest to go to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory is Augustus Gloop. No, it's Fat Albert from the Cosby Kids, who's got a golden ticket, and he's just dying to nom on those candies and chocolate in the factory. And he brought his date, Lil Kim, who at that time was under arrest. And so she's, I like my men Biggie Smalls, and he's like, oh, I like my women behind bars. I assume he means chocolate bars, and there's some other silly jokes. So we got our group together. Willy Wonka appears in the Johnny Depp version because the film had come out that year, and he's in his usual little voice to, hey, welcome to my chocolate factory. He brings them into the chocolate factory. Where it is revealed that it is a trap. Yes, it's a hideous trap from evil, because Willy Wonka is actually fallen to the dark side. He is now the servant or slave of the Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars, who appears amongst us because I believe either Revenge of the Sith or Attack of the Clones, one of those had come out that year. It was 2005. I forget which Star Wars film it was, but anyway, he shows up. The Emperor. So, as I said way back before, the Emperor was kind of used as a model for darkness, but eventually appeared that year anyway in the show. So, he's there, and he declares Willy Wonka to be his disciple, Darth Gobstopper. And his insidious plan is this huge machine, which is actually the Death Bar Easy Bake Oven, which will manufacture the dark chocolate, which contains particles of the dark side inside each candy bar, and if you eat them, you be converted to the dark side and become one of his legions of Sith. Of course, Anakin Skywalker, who has been corrupted by the Emperor, is there as his lackey as well, and is presented as kind of a whiny jerk, which he kind of was with the whole Hayden Christopherson guy, kind of whiny. And he wants to corrupt Bill and Ted, and he's going to kill Ted, and so in order to save Ted, Bill sacrifices himself and eats the chocolate, even though he hates coconut, and transforms into Darth Bogus, ripping off the yellow t-shirt to reveal a black t-shirt underneath which says Sith Happens. He is ordered to kill the others if they don't convert to the dark side. He starts to attack them along with other of the Emperor's minions. He calls in, for example, the Scarecrow from Batman. Batman Begins, which was in theaters that year, along with Samara from The Ring, because Ring 2 had come out, crawling out of a television set, the hair all over in front. I can't see a damn thing, it's freaking me out! You know, is that the hair all over her face. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie with their weapons, all as his hitmen and other denizens of evil to do terrible things to Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted and the others then are chased off the stage by him. He goes, "Haha, are there no pop culture icons to defeat me now?" And so the other pop culture icons start to show up to defeat the Emperor. For example, the Fantastic Four. It was said, I'm sorry, due to copyrights, legal reasons, we cannot let you call us what you're about to say. We are actually today the Fantabulous Quartet, which included Rubber Guy, and you can imagine the condom jokes, yeah. Clear Chick, and of course the Invisible Woman, Clear Chick, was played by nobody at all, because she's invisible, so you don't have to have an actor. Hey, you can save your budget that way. And then the Thing became Rock Hard, and the Human Torch was the Burning Sensation, who had this sort of red light in his crotch that lit up. Okay? Yeah, you get an idea. So, inflammation on! And, yeah, so Darth Bogus, a.k.a. Bill, defeats the entire Fantastic Four when the Thing tries to do his thing, which is hard on, and of course Mr. Fantastic is, no, don't do that, and that's what I do. Bill says, "Kathy Bates naked." He goes, "Oh, hard gone," and he's defeated. He beats up the Invisible Woman rather brutally, of course, since she's not actually there. He can really beat the crap out of her, throws her up into the scenery, and this she goes right through the wall, and then you have the cutout of the woman there, up there above the stage, where she supposedly went through the wall, stretches, elastic, and he says, "Rubber's only 50% effective anyway." Boom! And off goes Rubber Guy, and he uses a fire extinguisher on the Burning Sensation. Oh, it's so cold! It's so soothing. Thus, they're defeated. Next, of course, we have... at some point, Willy Wonka decides to bring out a secret weapon, which is his candy dynamite. And it's a big box, and when it opens up, instead of being an explosive, it's Napoleon Dynamite, who does the Viva Pedro, or not, Vote for Pedro. Viva Pedro that's a collection of DVDs from a gay Spanish filmmaker. Never mind that. Vote for Pedro T-shirt, and he does his classic moves. And Lil' Kim dances with him and gets so turned on she dumps Fat Albert for him. Just, "Let's have sex." Okay. And they leave. Then we have Mr. and Mrs. Smith are on the stage looking to kill people with their guns. And to defeat them comes Zorro, who announces himself as Don Alejandro 556 de la Vega Jr., along with his female companion, who he calls something like Anissa Maria Conchita Gonzalez Catherine Zeta-Jones Douglas III. And so she's playing on the guitar as he sort of dances around getting ready to fight, and they're going to fight, and then Peter Griffin and Stewie come back on stage, and they turn this into a reality show. Instead of fighting, it's going to be a dance-off from Dancing with the Stars. They don't want to dance. It's okay, the alternative, eat these pig testicles. Is fear a factor? So they're throwing these reality show jokes in there. They decide to do the dance-off. They have the dance-off, in which Mr. and Mrs. Smith's costumes become more revealing. Shirt gets ripped off, skirt gets torn off, revealing a much tighter, thinner skirt. Nice hot dance with Brad and Angelina clones doing a sexy dance. Then we have a really nice Latin number with the Zorro couple. I'm not sure who won, because after that they leave the stage and violence as usual resumes. And so we have continued fighting. Scarecrow is going to attack. Daisy Duke is a shadow puppet mistress, And so she makes a shadow of a bird, it's the NBC Peacock, a shadow of a rat, which is Mickey Mouse, and then a shadow of a bat. Continued.